Do you love those Muslims who cut off people's heads and put them on the internet?
Absolutely not.
You don't love them?
And we don't consider none of these actions to do with Islam, because I just gave you a verse of the Quran, or maybe I didn't give it to you. I'll give it to you again now. In chapter 6 of the Quran, verse 8.
I didn't hear your answer. Do you love those Muslims that cut off the people's heads?
I said no. I said no.
Do you love the Muslims that enslave the blacks?
I don't know. This interview about love is it's okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Do I love who again? Go ahead.
Do you love the Muslims that enslave the blacks?
Which Muslims are you referring to? I don't love anyone who does. If they did that, I don't love the action. No.
Do you love the Arabs?
Who are you referring to? Who are you referring to? I'm an Arab myself, so of course I love.
Over in Africa and places like that, in the Arab country, the Arabs enslaved the blacks.
Do you know? Have you heard of Jesus' ship?
Sold them to America and other places. Do you love those?
Have you heard of the Atlantic slavery? Have you heard of the Atlantic slavery and Jesus' ship? Do you know about history when it comes to slavery with the whites and the Christians and the black people, right? Because I'm North African, by the way, right? So to come to me with these ideas of like, it doesn't work with me, with all the respect. I was raised all my life around people from all different colors, right?
But I know that it was the Arabs. I know that it was the Arabs that went to Africa and they bought the blacks from the blacks, and they transferred them.
The Arabs had slaves.
They put them on ships, and they transferred them around
That's
the world. Do you love those?
To answer you,
those Arabs?
To answer you, by the way, that's not true, because the fact is that Arabs had slaves of all kinds. They had Arab slaves, people who were Arabs. They had people who were black. They had people of all colors, right?
White
slavery on an Arabic level. Sorry.
You have white slaves too.
There was not many. There was not that many whites in that region.
But there were white slaves.
They were under the Roman Empire. They were under the Roman Empire. There's not many white people in that region. So that's why I didn't mention them. But the point is very simple, right? Slavery was not about race there. You're making it an issue of race, but it was not an issue of race. It was nothing to do with
about
race.
Money.
There were slaves. Yeah, exactly. It was a part of the society and money. Yeah. And it existed in Christian countries and Christian land. And the Bible, it exists in the Bible and teaches you what to do with your slave. If you beat him half dead and he dies the next day, there's no problem because he's your property. In Deuteronomy chapter 20 or 22.
But in the Arab countries,
that's what the Bible teaches you about slavery. Sorry?
In the Arab countries, slavery still exists.
Where? That's completely false, right? That is like no, please, because I'm an Arab now, and you made a claim about Arab countries.
Oh, you're Arab?
Slavery exists. Yes, I am. Yes.
So you're Muslim and you're an Arab. What is the Arab?
Arab is my race. Arab is my race, and Muslim is my belief, my way of life.
So why do you live in Canada instead of an Arab country?
No, but sorry, you said something about human trafficking in Arab countries. Which country? By the way, if you look at the UK, there's laws stipulated even today about trafficking in the UK. Because of the amount of trafficking that happens. Go to Thailand, of all those white Caucasian people who go to enjoy slave women there. That's not a practice that Muslims do, right? So if you want to talk about slavery today, I would say you start with the country that you're living in.
No, we don't have slaves. Well, we might have some now because we have so many foreigners.
You have
over
human
here.
trafficking. It's not legalized, but it's there.
It's not the Americans who are doing the slave trade thing here. It's the foreigners that are coming across the borders from Muslim countries and China and those places.
Okay, if you say so, I disagree with you. I don't think that's the case. But if you say so,
let me ask.
It's not true.
Why do you live?
You don't have any stats. With all the respect, you didn't mention any facts. But go ahead.
Why do you live in Canada rather than a Muslim country?
I don't live in Canada.
You don't live in Canada?
I don't live in Canada.
Are you in Canada right now?
No, I'm not in Canada. No.
You live in your country?
I don't know where is this information from. No, I don't live in Canada.
Why do we think you live in Canada? Huh?
That was my mistake.
Oh, okay. My producer said that was his mistake. So we apologize. Okay, no what country you live in?
No issues. I'm in London right now, in the UK. I'm not in Canada.
London?
Yes.
You're still in the white man country. Why don't you live in your country?
Let me answer that question. It's not a white man country according to the last census in the UK. Christians are less than 50% of the population here. It might have been at a certain point of history.
Maybe less
it might have been. No, with all due respect, you said it's a white man country, so you've got to substantiate that. I've given you now statistics which disproves that claim, right?
But it's not. It may be less than 50% Christian now because the white man made a mistake by letting the Arabs go there across the borders or however they got there, and now the Arabs are taking over the white man's country.
I think that Arabs are minority in this country here. There's not that many Arabs in this country. There might be different people, maybe Africans, that maybe you have an issue with, that you don't believe they're doing good, but that's your own belief, right? But there's a lot of different. It's a very diverse place here. I would say there's more Indians here than other races, I would say, because they helped build this country after Second World War, after the English killed and the people after colonizing their countries. They needed people. They didn't have men, so they got Indians to build the country.
Yeah, they
so
hired some Indians to do it. Indian to do it. They paid them. It wasn't free.
Oh yeah, but it's okay if it's Indian slavery, yeah. But if it's black slavery, it's not okay.
That's fine.
But if it's Indian slavery, it's okay, yeah.
Okay. I didn't say that, but I'm saying that the Indian were paid to help build, but they didn't just do it free. It wasn't like they didn't get paid for it. But
there were slaves. There was many slaves. But go ahead. Yes.
I gotta ask. What caused the Muslims to cut off people's heads?
Well, those people who do that are not following the Islam or the Quran. So you have to speak to them. They probably have some psychological issues. They have different other reasons for the actions that they're doing. But if you read the Quran, I mentioned to you chapter 60, verse 8 of the Quran, which says that those who do not fight you because of religion, do not take you out of your home. You should be good and just towards them, because Allah loves those who are just. And the Quran says in chapter 2 of the Quran, verse 190, fight those who fight you and do not transgress. Allah doesn't love those who transgress. So the Quran is explicit and clear. In fact, the Quran says if you kill an innocent soul, in chapter 5, verse 32, it says if you killed all of humanity. And if you save one innocent soul, it's as if you saved all of humanity. So whatever those people are doing, like, for example, I mentioned a group, and I don't know if you want me to mention the name or not, because like YouTube doesn't like some of these names, but it starts with I, and then you have an S somewhere there, right? So without mentioning the name, right? So that group, because I don't want to get harm your video in any way, right? So that group, by the way, it killed more Muslims than non-Muslims, according to Western reports, studies that tell you the number of their casualties. Most of their operations are happening in Muslim countries, right? So they are even if they were doing anything to do with Islam, you wouldn't be targeting the Muslims and killing them more than killing anyone else.